Hi everyone, I'm Iman. We will continue to build our booking apps UI and UX. In this video, we will build this little testimonial section using a library called Retro UI, and we will customize it to our need using React and Tailwind CSS, and we will wrap it up by pushing our code to GitHub. For the cards, we have a logo, a heading and a paragraph. On small screen, our cards will be in vertical order. The card logo will be on the left side and text will be on right side. For medium screen, logo will be on top and text will be on bottom. Same for large screen. And on the extra large screen and above, the cards will be in horizontal order. The logo will be on the left side and the text will be on the right side. Now that we understand what we are going to build, let's get started. Back in the VS Code, open up the terminal. Go to the booking folder by command cd booking and run npm run dev. It will start our development server on port localhost 5173. Control plus click on this link and here's our website. Let me change this image to something else. Okay, let's go to Google and search Retro UI. Let me introduce you to Retro UI, a retro-styled React UI library designed to help you build modern, unique web applications with ease. Powered by React and Tailwind CSS, Retro UI offers beautifully crafted, flexible components that can be fully customized to match your design needs. Just follow the installation steps, import components that you need, and enhance them further with Tailwind CSS for the perfect look. And if you are looking to elevate your design workflow, Retro UI Pro is where the magic happens. Retro UI Pro offers an incredible set of premium features that take customization to the next level. With premium UI blocks, ready-to-use templates, a Figma UI kit, and lifetime updates, all for a one-time payment of $99. It's a must-have for developers and designers aiming for efficiency and style. Check it out, the link is in the video description. Let's go to installation step and choose Vite as framework. We will skip first two steps since we already have a project and Tailwind CSS. Now for the step number 3, it's saying edit tsconfig.json file. We were not using TypeScript in the front end, but now since we need it and in the upcoming components as well, let's install it. Let's stop the server, Ctrl C, npm install TypeScript -- save dev and hit enter. Our setup wanted Win32. Let's install it. npm install Win32 and then Run the TypeScript compiler using the command npx tsc. After that, --init. This generates a tsconfig.json file with default options. Seems like we are getting an error. This is not the ts command you are looking for. Let's see what it's saying. To get access to TypeScript compiler tsc from the command line, either use npm install TypeScript to first add TypeScript to your project before using npx. Use yarn to avoid accidentally running code from un installed packages. Let's run npm install TypeScript. Okay, and now npx tsc --init. npx tsc --init. This will generate a tsconfig.json file with default options. Created a new tsconfig.json file. Let's go to the tsconfig.json file. In here, the current version of Vite splits TypeScript configuration into 3 files, 2 of which need to be edited, and the base URL and paths properties to the compiler options section of the tsconfig.json and tsconfig.app.json file. So in here, let's copy what's inside this compiler options object. Make sure to add the comma at the end of the paths object. This will set up path alias for us. Let's save it. Now what about tsconfig.app.json? That file is usually found in more structured setups like Angular or Mono repos, but for a regular Vite plus TypeScript setup, you typically just use tsconfig.json. You only need tsconfig.app.json if you are doing something more complex with multiple configurations. For the step number 5, update vite.config.ts. Add the following code to the vite.config.ts so your app can resolve paths without error. Let's rename vite.config.js to ts. You can do it easily by saying mv vite.config.js space vite.config.ts and hit enter. Okay, so our file is renamed. Let's select npm for the options and copy it. Make sure you are in the booking folder and paste the command. Hit enter. And now we need to update vite.config.ts. Reopen the file. Let's close it. Let's copy the code, or maybe let's just copy what we need. We need import and also React from vite.js-plugin-react. Copy it and paste it. Oops, we already have that. And then copy this resolve object and paste it after the plugin property. Like this. Save it. Make sure your Vite config doesn't use common JS syntax. For example, module.export, it should be ES module style. Export default one. Which TypeScript expects? Since our setup works, this change is optional but recommended for long-term maintainability. If Retro UI introduces updates or tooling that expects .ts, switching now avoids surprises later. For the step number 6, we need to install shadcn. Run the shadcn init command to set up your project. Select npm as the option, copy it and paste it, hit enter. You will be asked a few questions to configure components.json. Select the option you want to use. Let's use the recommended one. You can select the option by using up and down arrow. Hit enter. Project initialization completed. You may now add components. This command will also create a lib folder inside source folder and inside a file called utils.ts. And in here, if you go to utilities and cn, a utility function that saves you from style conflicts. The cn utility function combines clx and twmerge. This enables you to construct class name strings conditionally without having to worry about Tailwind CSS style conflicts. So we first need to install it. Copy and paste it. Now we need to copy this code inside our utils.ts file. So in here, copy it and paste it. We are having an error. If we hover on it, it says class name value is a type and must be imported using a type only import. So what we can do is cut it and Alt Shift down to copy it and paste it in here, and before this object we will say type. And our error is gone. Let's save it. Now let's go back to our installation. Now for the step number 7, add retro UI theme. To make your app look like retro UI, you need to add the theme to your app. You can later customize it to your liking. First we need to install the fonts. You can either copy the links or this link. So let's copy it, and inside index.html, inside this head tag, let's paste it. And for the step number 2, we need to add theme. Save your theme as CSS variables in styles.css file. Let's copy it and inside source folder create a new file called styles.css and paste the code in here. And that's it. Now you can start using retro UI components in your project. You can install them through CLI or manually. After installing the component in your project, you can simply import it like this. Let's open up the menu and select the card component. Let's close the files. A customizable card component to visualize your content. So we need this testimonial card component, but before it we need to install it. We will install it through CLI. Let's select npm as the option, copy it and paste inside our booking folder and hit enter. So this is the error that we are getting. I've checked it out. We only get it when using card component. Let me show it to you. So in here, if we select button component and install it, as you can see, it is created perfectly fine. So if we go in the components folder There's a new component created called retro UI, and inside we have button.tsx file created. We don't need it, so let's just delete it. Now what we can do is we will install it manually. Copy the code into your project. So what we will do is inside retro UI folder we will create a new file called card.tsx. Copy this code and paste in here. We are getting an error. Let's see. Cannot find module or its corresponding type declarations. But what we can do is add .js and the error is gone. It's a common issue. You can search it up. HTML attributes is a type and must be imported using a type only import. So what we can do? So before this we can say type, because we are using TypeScript, and we also need text file. So in here go to the text component. Again first we need to install it. Select the npm option. Ctrl C and Ctrl V. So as you can see this command works. So we only have the problem with the card command, and for this error if we hover on it we are getting this error. Did you mean ./text.js? No, it's ts. So if we say here .tsx and hover on it, an import path can only end with a tsx extension when this extension is enabled. So I have searched it up. What we need to do is to enable .tsx extensions in import paths and resolve the TS error, you need to update your TypeScript configurations. Here's how we can do. Open up the tsconfig.json and in the compiler options, after this paths, we will copy it and paste it in here. Save the file, and then we need to restart our development server. Okay. By default, TypeScript doesn't allow import paths like this, where we have .tsx at the end, unless we enable this extension explicitly. This settings tells TypeScript it's okay to include .ts or tsx in your import paths. If you are using a bundler like Vite, Webpack or Next.js, they often resolve extensions automatically. So instead of this, we can write this. This keeps your imports cleaner and avoids needing the flag altogether. We are getting an error. Option can only be used when either no emit or emit declaration is set. Oh, and again we are getting an error. Let's see. Option allow importing TS extensions can only be used when either no emit or emit declaration only is set. So it's saying that TypeScript compiler is being a bit picky here. The error means that if you want to use this, you must also set either no emit or emit declaration only to true in your tsconfig.json. Here's how we can do it. So after this, we will say no emit. I hope we will not have another error. To true. And save it. Yes. So our error is gone. What these options do: no emit true tells TypeScript not to output compiled files. Useful if you are using a bundler like Vite, Webpack or Next.js that handles the build. Emit declaration only to true tells TypeScript to only emit .d.ts files, not .js or JSX. This is handy for libraries or type-only builds. So finally we have resolved our error. What we can do was just simply in here write JS and then our error is gone. But I just want to search it up and show it to you so that if you will have this error in the future. So that's how you can resolve it. Our cart.tsx is here, and now what we can do is close it up and inside components folder create a new file called, remember when we are installing, our cart.tsx is inside retro UI folder, but now we need to create a cart component inside components folder so we can use our cart component. So in here create a component called cart.jsx. So we have installed it manually, and now we are using this component. If we select code, what we need to do is copy it and paste it inside our cart.jsx. Okay, and if we save it and go inside app.jsx, after this inclusive section we will import our cart.jsx. What we can do is, it is export default function. You can either use it like this, or in here we will say const arrow function. Okay, and cut it, and in the end of the file we will export it like this, save it. Again you can just leave it like that. Now inside our app.jsx we will import it. So it is testimonial card like this, and save it. Open up the browser. Okay, and inside components we also need card and avatar. So what we can do is, if we go inside card.jsx, as you can see, we also need text and avatar. So let's go to text, select npm and copy it, close the server and paste it in here. Okay, so we have already installed it. Now inside components folder create a new file called text.jsx. Open up the code, copy it and paste it in here like this. Close the file, and same for avatar. So in here select npm, copy the command, paste it. And we will use this. Open up the code, copy it, inside components folder create a new file called avatar.jsx and paste it in here. So the installation command will install these components inside retro UI, and then we will create a file inside components folder and copy the component code in here. Now let's save it and see. Let's run our server npm run dev. Open it up. So as you can see, our card is here, and if we hover on it, we also have a cute little hover effect. And you may have also another error. It's about JSX flag. So what you can do is go to tsconfig.json. So after this paths JSX to react-jsx. But as you can see, in my case it's already here. If you have it, it's good, but if it's not there, then you need to define it. It's because TypeScript needs to know that you are using JSX so it can compile your files correctly. Without the JSX flag, it treats your code like plain TypeScript and gets confused by the angle brackets. And if you save it, the error will be gone. Now let's close all the files. I'm showing all these errors to you so that when you have the exact same errors, you will know how to resolve it. Actually, I want you to get different errors so that you can search it up and try to resolve on your own. As a good developer, you must know how to resolve an error. If you don't, you can't become a good developer. Let me know in the comment section the errors you were getting and whether you have successfully resolved it. I would love to help you out. So let's go to card.jsx, and we need 3 different cards. But first we will customize the first one and style it, and then we will just copy paste it and change the information. Let's cut this text element, Ctrl X, because we need it down here. Inside this div, let's paste it. And we don't need this div around avatar. Let's remove it. Okay, as you can see, the text has gone under the image. Now let's remove these 2 divs, and in here create a new div, and we will have our text. Inside we will say enjoy flexible booking with no upfront charges, plus cancel for free on most listings. And in here remove the quotes, or just remove all of it. And for the text, reserve today, pay during your stay. Let's change the logo to the one that we need. First we need to import it. So I have stored some images inside assets folder. In here, they all will be inside GitHub repository. I will provide the link to it in the video description. Now let's import it. Import hotel image from /assets/hotel.png. Okay, so this one, and after a colon. It's not necessary, but I'm just giving it for convention. Now in here, remove the source and inside curly braces we will say hotel image. Save it. As you can see, here is our image. Now let's style it. Inside the return statement, we will create a new div. Alt and upward arrow. I have created this new div because inside return statement we can only have one parent and we need multiple card components. So that's why we give here div, so that inside return statement we will only have one parent element. Now let's customize it. For this div, class name flex call. So all the cards will be in vertical order, so on top of each other. MD flex dash row. So what this means is, on smaller screens our cards will be in vertical order, but on medium screen and above our cards will be in horizontal order. When we have more cards, then you can understand better. For now, gap dash 3 to give gap between the cards. So gap between the cards will be 3. And now for this card, change the maximum width to 550 pixels because we have more space in here. Save it. By default, shadow will be none. As you can see, by default the shadow is not showing, but when we hover, shadow will be medium. So when we hover on it, shadow will be displayed. And after this, we will say rounded MD to make the corners rounded, as you can see. Now for the card content, so this is the element in which we have all the card content. Class name flex. Okay, so all the content will be in one line, and on medium screens and above we will say flex call. So the content will be in vertical order. So by default, cards content will be in horizontal order, but on the medium screen it will be in vertical order. Okay, and again on extra larger screens, flex row. Save it. And on extra larger screens, flex will be row. So again flex will be row, so again it will be in horizontal order. We did it because we want to make our cards responsive on every single screen. Now after this, we will say, now we need to make our content in the center. So we will say on medium screens, items center, and also text center. Save it. As you can see, now after this, if we go on small screens, you can see that we have no space between the logo and the text, and we will remove the padding given by default on the left side of the card. We can say padding on the left will be 0. Save it, because we will give padding to the logo on both sides, and we will remove the padding only on small screens. So if we go to medium screens, in here, as you can see, since our content is in vertical order, we don't need to remove it. So in here, let's give more padding. So on medium screen and above, padding will be 2. Save it. Okay. And also we will give gap between the content of 2. So these classes that we give on the card content element will be applied to avatar, this heading and the text. And after this gap, we will give more space on the top and bottom of the card. So on medium screens, padding on y-axis will be 4. Save it. Okay. Now on larger screens and on larger screens, we will say padding on y-axis will be 3. And you might be thinking that in here we don't have much space, how can we have 2 more cards in here? But when we implement the card, all of it will be sorted. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Now for the height of the avatar, 16, and for the width we will have 24. Inside it, save it. Okay, and on medium screens, as you can see, it's not responsive. As a developer, we have to make sure that every part of our website looks responsive on all screen sizes. And on medium screens, width 20, save it. The height will be same 16 pixel, only width will be 20 pixels on medium screens and above. And in here it's good. And on extra larger screens, we will say height 20 and also width will be 44. Okay, and rounded none, so it will not be rounded. And we also don't need the border, so border will also be none. And my auto, so margin will be on y-axis auto. So what this means is our image will be in center on y-axis, and for the x-axis, so on horizontal order, we will have margin on x-axis 4. As you can see, that's why we have removed the padding on the left side, so that the space around the logo will be equal. And for the avatar image, we will say class name, width full and height full. Now for this information div, class name empty-1, so margin on the top of the text will be 1. Okay, text base, so whatever class that we applied on the parent, it will be applied to both of them, so that we don't need to define in here and also in here. Okay, so we will just define it in here, text base, and on larger screens and above, text will be center. And on Excel screens, so in here we will have text left. So our text will be on the left side. And for this text, let's remove it, and we will say font bold. And for this text div, class name, padding on y-axis will be 1. Okay. In Tailwind CSS, breakpoints allow you to change styles based on screen size. Now our styling is completed. What we can do is select the card and press Alt Shift and down arrow 2 times to copy paste it. Let's close the first one because we have styled it. And now let's customize the second card. First, let's import the images. Import phone image from /assets/ telephone.png, and same import earth image from /assets earth.webpack. Maybe it's webp. Now in here we will say telephone image. It's phone image, and for the text, explore over 2 million stays worldwide. And for the text, from nice hotels to comfy places and friendly guest houses, we have got your stay. And for this one, we have earth image, and for the text, reliable spot anytime you need it. Whether day or night, our dedicated customer care team is just a message away. Let's save it. And now it's the moment of truth. Let's see on smaller screens first. As you can see, our cards are in vertical order and our information is in horizontal order. And on the medium screen, in here we need the padding. So what we will say is, on medium screen, padding on x-axis will be 1. And same in here, padding on x-axis will be 1. Save it. Now let's see. Okay, so it's in here. We also need it in these two cards as well. So let's copy it, paste it in here and in here and also in here. Save it. Okay, so on medium screens, all of our content will be in vertical order. And same for the large screen. And for extra larger screens, we have our logo in the center and the text will be in horizontal order. Okay? So that's it for today's video, and hopefully this will be the last section for our homepage. If you like it, press the like button, comment, share and subscribe to UI Universe. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.